Ladies and gentlemen, today we dive into the biggest political storm to hit the UK, a controversial decision that has left millions of Brits frustrated, confused, and angry. Yes, Keir Starmer has officially announced a ban on petitions for a fresh UK election. What does this mean for the future of British democracy, and more importantly for you? Stay with me until the end of this video because not only will we uncover the layers behind this shocking decision, but I promise to solve many of the riddles in your mind, questions you didn't even know you had, and reveal a secret so astonishing you'll be talking about it for weeks. Before we dive into the next twist in this shocking story, take a moment to hit the subscribe button, stay ahead of the game, and be the first to know when the truth breaks wide open. By subscribing, you're joining a fast-growing community of people who demand more than the headlines. Together, we're uncovering the stories others won't tell. Now let's break this down. Starmer's decision to block petitions calling for a new general election has raised eyebrows across the UK. Critics are calling it a betrayal of democratic values, while supporters claim it's a necessary move to stabilize the political landscape. But the real question is, why now? Why, in a time when the public is more engaged than ever in politics, would a leader make such a controversial move? What's he trying to hide? Could this be part of a bigger, more secretive agenda? Let's rewind a little. Remember the months leading up to this? We've seen strikes, economic challenges, and increasing public dissatisfaction with both Labour and the Tories. People want change. They want a voice. And those petitions? They were gaining traction. In fact, sources close to Parliament suggest that, if allowed to continue, these petitions could have turned into a nationwide movement too big to ignore. So, was Starmer's announcement really about avoiding chaos, or was it about silencing the people? Here's something they don't want you to know. There's speculation, whispers in the corridors of Westminster that this ban isn't just about elections, it's about control. By stopping these petitions, Starmer might be paving the way for a political system where public input becomes secondary to party agendas. Think about it. If petitions can be banned, what's next? Protests? Freedom of speech? Let's take a closer look at what Starmer himself said. His statement framed this move as a way to ensure political stability and avoid unnecessary distractions. But let's decode that. Political stability for whom? Certainly not for the average voter who feels unheard and neglected. This move conveniently shifts the focus away from Labour's shortcomings and places the blame for unrest squarely on outside forces. It's classic deflection and distractions. Well, isn't it ironic that while calling for less distraction, this announcement has become the biggest distraction of all? Here's where it gets even more interesting. Behind the scenes, there are reports of mounting pressure from international players. Yes, you heard that right. Some analysts suggest that this decision might have been influenced by external forces, perhaps even governments or corporations with vested interests in keeping the current political dynamics intact. Could it be that Starmer isn't just acting for Labour, but is a puppet in a much larger game? And now, let's address the elephant in the room. The public's reaction. Social media has exploded with anger, memes, and demands for Starmer to reconsider. Hashtags like democracy denied and Starmer ban are trending. But here's the twist. Despite the backlash, Starmer remains unapologetic. Is this confidence, arrogance, or simply a sign that he knows something we don't? Before we get to the juicy secrets and riddles promised at the start, let's take a moment to ask ourselves, where does this leave the UK? If petitions are banned, how can the average citizen make their voice heard? The implications of this decision go far beyond a single election. They touch the very heart of what it means to live in a democracy. And here's a chilling thought. What if this isn't the last ban we'll see? Could this set a precedent for other political leaders to follow? Now, I know what you're thinking. What's the secret? What's the big reveal? Don't worry, I'm about to deliver. But before I do, let me ask you this. Have you noticed the timing of all this? Just as calls for change grow louder, just as the public begins to wake up to the power they hold, this ban is announced. Coincidence? I think not. The real secret here is that this isn't just about an election. It's about shaping the future of British politics in a way that benefits the few at the expense of the many. The riddles? Let's solve them. Why would a leader risk public outrage with such a decision? Because the alternative, a public demanding change, poses an even greater risk to the status quo. What's the hidden agenda? To consolidate power and silence dissent under the guise of stability. And the biggest question of all, what can you do about it? That, my friends, is the secret they don't want you to know. You have more power than you realize. Speak up, share your thoughts, and don't let this decision go unnoticed. Change doesn't start in Parliament. It starts with you. So, as we wrap up, I leave you with this. The ban on petitions is not just a political move. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that democracy is fragile and must be protected at all costs. The riddles have been solved, the secrets revealed, and now the power is in your hands. If this video has opened your eyes, hit that like button and subscribe for more insights that challenge the narrative and reveal the truth behind the headlines. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters more than ever. Until next time.